Well, Thursday night football returns at Old Trafford on Thursday this week as United entertains Chelsea at Old Trafford. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, Thursday night football is something that you wouldn't really like to fancy as a United fan if at all you know what it is. We've played it throughout the entire season because we've been playing the UEFA Europa League, but this time round we have a chance to go all out and qualify for the Champions League on Thursday if at all we get a point against Chelsea. But looks like it's a given because in the league, ever since we lost to Brighton 2-1 at the beginning of the league, we've not gone ahead to lose another league game at Old Trafford. That's it. This season, United has only lost 2 games at Old Trafford. 2-1 against Brighton and then 1-0 against Real Sociedad, where the referee gave out a shitty penalty that you wouldn't really think that it was really a penalty, and then he really went ahead to point on the spot. And even when he went to the VAR, so to the side monitor, he failed to rule it out. That's the problem, VAR. And such scenarios of the ball hitting the thigh of the player and then it hits the hand have come on very many times, and we found ourselves in a situation of really not being given such penalties, even other teams. So those are the 2 games that United is going to hate to really lose this season. So Old Trafford is a fortress. Chelsea know it. They played against Man City on the weekend and they are beaten, I think, by 1-0. Julian Alves on the score sheet. And for United, we played away at Bournemouth and we won by 1-0. Casemiro scoring the acrobatic kick and gave them what they really deserved as a team of Manchester United. But we are returning to Old Trafford, and at Old Trafford, things turn out different. The atmosphere is different. We're having close to 74,000 fans luring behind us. So it shows you that the stadium is all rocking and creating a hostile environment for the visitors. Chelsea have been one of the worst teams I've seen this season, in the Premier League, because if I to go pound per pound, they've gone ahead to spend close to 700 million pounds, but they couldn't even be into the top half of the Premier League table. And Casemiro has gone ahead and really said the following about Chelsea, and he had the following to say. He said, "We know Chelsea aren't doing well, but they're a huge club that won the Champions League just a few years ago. It's going to be a really difficult game. We are going to play in our stadium with our fans." He was talking to the national news. That is Casemiro. So I like that mentality. Because you don't underestimate any team. If we are stronger than Chelsea, let us depict it on the field of play by beating them 5-0. That's it. Let's do that. If at all we do that, then we can find ourselves in a position of really calling Chelsea weak. But if at all we cannot really put like 3 goals past them, then we shouldn't come out here and brag. But they are coming to Old Trafford when in the last 10 games, Chelsea have not beaten Manchester United. United has gone ahead to make 3 wins and 7 draws. So that is a team known as Chelsea. They are coming to Old Trafford last season. I think the 2 games we played ended level, 1-1, and I think Sancho scored at Old Trafford and gave us a lead. Then they got a penalty, Jorginho took it, and that's how it ended last season. This season, when we are at the Stamford Bridge, the first half, it was a game of 2 halves, because the first half was a game that United would have gone ahead to win. Rashford missing out on 3 chances. Anthony missing out on a sitter, and who else? Is it Bruno? We had close like 5 clear-cut chances for us to score, and then Scott McTominay got hold of Ahmad Braja, and when he got hold of Ahmad Braja, it was a penalty given, and I think it was Jorginho again. Jorginho buried it in the back of the net, and then Casemiro in the 93rd minute just capitalized onto that cross brought in by Luke Shaw. It was, I think, a free kick or a cross. Then he headed it in the back of the net, and the intervention of VAR was needed and goal line technology to certify the goal of Casemiro. So it shows you that we are supposed to beat them at Stamford Bridge, but we never really killed off our chances. What we learn from that, as we come into this beautiful game of football, we need to kill off our chances. I've seen United create very many chances, but we don't kill them off, So, at Old Trafford, with these players charged, knowing that when they win this game, it's going to be Champions League football verified for Manchester United. And what does that mean to the players? Some 20% increment onto their salary is going to be really made to the players of Manchester United, because when you're playing the Champions League, players really get full package. When we drop to the UEFA Europa League, we find ourselves in a position of getting a 25% reduction of the salary these players do really earn. So it shows you how tricky it is. But I think Chelsea is going to really capitalize onto playing on the break. They leave the ball to Manchester United, and I think they'll try to hit us on the break. But it's really worrying for Chelsea, because when City played its second string side, they couldn't even beat it. So I'm really sure that this is a game that it's a United win written all over it. Some people might be frustrated that a team like Leicester City went yesterday and played Newcastle at St. James's Park and they drew 0-0. But Newcastle only needed a draw, and they are really playing a team that was fighting for their life in relegation. That is it. So, for Chelsea, I don't see any hardships. But let's go to the players unavailable for Manchester United. Sabitzer, Lisandro Martinez, Donny van de Beek, though I've seen him really doing some ball work. He's back on the grass and doing some ball work, so I think it's too early for the preseason. Who else is injured? Tom Heaton is hinted to be one of the injured players, and Lisandro Martinez, I've talked about him. The rest of the players are really available. Marcus Rashford has trained today. If I told you you've watched the first story I've done today, I've given you the updates of Marcus Rashford, that he's here to come in and obviously play some good games. And who else is out? I think those are the players that are really out, and the rest of the players are really available. When we go to Chelsea, they're having a couple of players really injured. Buddy Shield is really injured. That is it. Ahmad Broja is injured. Reece James is also an injured player. N'Golo Kante is injured. Mason Mount is being assessed but also ruled out. Mark Cucurella is also out. Ben Chilwell is another one who is out. Mateo Kovacic is 50% fit, and we don't know whether he would have gone ahead to pass the late fitness test to coming through and obviously play part into the game of United as we host Chelsea at Old Trafford. Remember, we are a team that Ten Hag is going to have to build, and we're going to have to do lots of wonders. And let's get straight into the predicted starting 11 of Erik Ten Hag. The system that Erik Ten Hag plays with is a 4-2-3-1, and at Old Trafford, you expect him to do the needful and obviously get in his best system that he's going to hate to deploy ever since he got the job of Manchester United as a permanent manager. Now, in goal is going to be David De Gea, a man who was going to hate to already win the Golden Glove with 17 clean sheets, and out of those 17 clean sheets, we've only gone ahead to concede 10 goals at Old Trafford. I can even count them. 2 against Brighton, 1 against Liverpool, 1 against Crystal Palace, 2 against Leeds. I think those are the goals. 1 against City and 1 against Arsenal. That's it. Those are the teams they've just gone ahead to really score against us in the Premier League. So it shows you that we are having a goalkeeper, and we expect him to start in between the stitches, and he's having a chance to go ahead and really match his all-time best clean sheet keeping record at Manchester United in the league to 18. He keeps a clean sheet on Thursday, would have gone ahead to level it, and I think he has all what it takes to even break that record, because I believe we can keep a clean sheet at Old Trafford against Chelsea and against Fulham. But all in all, David De Gea is going to be in goal. Right back, that's where I expect one of the huge changes. I expect Diego Dalot to come in through for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Aaron Wan-Bissaka having played the previous 3 games and starting and almost playing close to 90 minutes. I believe Ten Hag needs to rest him a little bit to prepare him for the final of the FA Cup. Now, the left back position, obviously, is going to be Luke Shaw. Though in the game of Bournemouth, he was ruled out towards the start of the game, and Malacia was really warming up, but Luke Shaw came in through and obviously played the full 90, and I think Ten Hag is going to really bring him on to play into the left back position of that team. On the right side of the central defense, Rafael Varane. It's going to be Lindelof, a man who has gone ahead to really keep lots of possession and passes in the previous 10 games, and has gone ahead to start all the 10 previous games for Manchester United. He has gone ahead to show Erik Ten Hag what he's all about and why he shouldn't even think about Harry Maguire into the mix of this team, and which players should come in through and obviously do the needful. Then the other one is Rafael Varane playing on the left side of the central defense, and every time I see Rafael Varane, I just feel like we are 100% safe. We are in safe hands, and that back five has gone ahead to do a good job at Old Trafford, especially in as far as keeping clean sheets are really concerned. David De Gea pulling out the right saves, that back four shielding David De Gea a lot. Then the ball distribution of David De Gea is really improving, and one thing I've gotten to know about the media of England is simple. Every time a player performs bad, they are reactionary and they say he's going to leave. Remember, when David De Gea costed us that goal against West Ham, it was all over news that Ten Hag wants him out, Then, when Anton Martial got off the field of play and really put up a very miserable look on his face and walked down to the dressing room and then came back, this whole week, we've seen stories from Sunday that Anton Martial is wanting out of Manchester United. That's it. So, they are reactionary, but I believe that team is really going to do wonders for Ten Hag on Thursday. Let's go to the midfield. Obviously, Casemiro into the mix, playing into the central defensive midfield area. He scored an acrobatic goal against Bournemouth, and he's really looking good in shape. And it's good news for us if at all Casemiro is really looking good in shape like that. Do you know why? I want him to really be at his best when you're playing Man City on the 3rd of June, and we are left with 3 games to go versus Chelsea, versus Fulham, and versus Man City. Let's get this game out of our way with Casemiro in that midfield, as one of the players that Chelsea is a team that really won the Champions League a year ago. They are really one of the decent teams. I mean, it's them having a bad season that does not really rule them out from coming to Old Trafford and really shock us. But Ten Hag would love to go on and really see his double pivot of Eriksen and Casemiro putting up performances that are really out of this world to really take us to the triumph galaxies. That's it. Bruno Fernandes, Borges, central attacking midfield. Expect him to play to that position, though he really looked bad in the game of Bournemouth, and I gave him a rating, or was it 5.5 into that team. But this time around, I expect him to do the needful, and I would love to see him really create more chances. That's it. I would like to see him create more chances for the number 9 of United. Then Anthony, one of the worst performing players on the field of play at Bournemouth. That was Vitality Stadium over the weekend. Expect him to come in through and obviously put in performances that everyone is going to go on and really recon with, because you're going to be at Old Trafford. The Vitality Stadium was really tiny, you saw it, but Old Trafford is really a wide stadium, and obviously that wide area will help us really expose the likes of Chelsea, and that is Anthony for you. Then, however much Rashford is back, I expect him to come off the bench to play part into the game, and I believe Jadon Sancho is going to start. That's it. And guess who's going to lead the line? I think it's Anton Martial. And one call I'm making from the people around Anton Martial, let them create chances. Let them create chances, and let us just criticize him for not really killing off the chances, because we are not creating enough for number 9. That's it. Selfishness is really so huge with Bruno, Anthony, Marcus Rashford, So we need to find ourselves in a position really creating very many chances for our number 9. So guys, thank you guys for watching in through, and that's my predicted starting 11 of Manchester United. Though Ten Hag can make some changes, he can get Rafael Varane and play him with Luke Shaw into the central defense, and then play in Malacia or Diego Dallo on the left. So lots of changes can be made into this beautiful game of football, but it's going to be at Old Trafford, and we expect to be running after them left, right, and center. Now, my prediction, 3-0. That's it. I'm predicting a 3-0 or 4-0 win for United against Chelsea, because Chelsea played a second string side of Man City and they failed to beat them. Now, let me get you some thoughts, some head-to-head facts coming in from Google about this team of this fixture of Manchester United and Chelsea. Only Man City 8 and Liverpool 7 have won more Premier League games away against Manchester United than Chelsea 6, though the Blues are winless in their last 9 visits to Old Trafford. So, in the last 9 games they've come to Old Trafford, they've gone ahead to really be beat, to really draw 6 times and beaten 3 times. They last won at Old Trafford in May 2013. Chelsea against Manchester United have finished as a draw more often than any other fixture in the Premier League history. Each of the last 5 have been drawn, with only Aston Villa versus West Ham 7, Birmingham versus Liverpool 7, Brighton versus West Ham 6, ending in level more consecutive meetings. So it shows you that it's always a draw as a most expected result. Second, lastly, each of the last 5 Premier League meetings between Manchester United and Chelsea have been draws. United have never drawn 6 consecutively games against an opponent, with Chelsea have only ever done so against West Bromwich Albion, 8 between 1921 and 1927. So it shows you that United is really having an edge this time around to beat Chelsea. And I think we're going to beat Chelsea. We are going to beat Chelsea and really win this game. Chelsea have lost their final away league game in 3 of the last 5 seasons, though they did win 3-0 at Leeds in their final such a game last season. So you all know what the game of football is going to be about. United coming in through to fight for Champions League football. Ten Hag would like to leave it early and then rest some players in the game of Fulham. Remember, in the game of Bournemouth, what he said after we won by 1-0 that United versus Chelsea is a finale. It's a final, and he's treating it like a final because he knows how important it is. Beating Chelsea into Champions League football, and as I told you in the early video that I did today, if we beat Chelsea and Fulham, we are going to finish 3rd in the Premier League table. So that shows you that we can get in some good amount of money, if we finish in 3rd, and it will be a very huge boost for Erik ten Hag coming into a team that finished 6th last season and taking us into the 3rd position of the league. Then win a Carabao Cup, knocked out in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Europa League, in the final of the FA Cup. What a milestone by the man himself, Erik ten Hag. So guys, your thoughts on to Manchester United versus Chelsea are really welcome in the comment section below. My prediction has been 3-0 in favor of Manchester United. So tell me your thoughts about your fixtures, and especially about your result, and especially let's discuss that predicted starting 11 that I've gone in for, and who do you expect Ten Hag to bring in or not put in. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Rock and David remains my name. I'm out.